Ladies and gentlemen, we're filming here on Monday, March 30th for No Foolin', Wednesday, April 1st, our first show in April 2026. And
Hey, do you know the Guardians are predicted to win the World Series?
April Fools.
April Fools.
Right. Even though they didn't have a bad start, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Not really. You're on the road. You go 2-2.
Right. Against one of the toughest teams in the league.
I'll take it any time.
Right.
You're on the road. If you can split a series, I'm all for it.
Right. Well, they'll have a tough week this week.
They got the Dodgers coming up.
Right. We'll get to that here in a sec. But I'm Seth.
I'm Bob.
And this is 10 Cent Beer at the official sports on FifthDimensionRadio.com every Wednesday here in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. It's every 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And before I forget, because I might forget because we will talk about a lot of things today, I want to, on behalf of me, owner Bob, owner of the station, producer Bob, happy Easter holiday this weekend to all of you as we be creeping up here. And here in Ohio, the weather is going to be a bit wet, but the temperature's going up.
It's supposed to be in the 70s a couple times this week.
Right. We were predicted 50s and 40s. I was like, oh, man, the Guards home openers, which I think is later this week.
But the weather's going to be, temperature is going to be okay.
Right.
The rain might not be.
Right. But it was originally supposed to be 40s and 50s all week. Now that we got 60s, 70s, and if you're watching on the video on YouTube here, I'm wearing shorts right now because it's nice enough to wear shorts today. So, that means better weather's on the corner, which means better baseball we produce it, and then we're coming to the tail end of the basketball season, both in college and pro. And then
there's another thing too. Before we get started, and I will forget about it if we don't say it.
Sure.
Ohio State won a national title.
I know. I did see that.
Pistol shooting. The Pistol and Rifle Club won the national title this weekend.
Which normally Akron has won in the past.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ohio State's national champs.
You notice Ohio's very good with that trigger. So
trigger finger.
Watch what you do here in Ohio. Anyway.
I was always into gun shooting stuff when I was younger. So.
Right. Absolutely there. We are in the Final Four for college basketball. So here are some of your finals that happened over the weekend in the Elite Eight. Number 1, Team Up North beat number 6 Tennessee. Beat them up 95-62. Team Up North will now, Michigan for those that don't know, will now play number 1 Arizona, who beat Purdue 79-64 there. So we almost had a Big Ten Final Four matchup here, but that didn't happen. Arizona wins there. And so you'll have 2 number 1s going at each other, and their game will be next Saturday, 8:49 p.m. on TNT. Actually, all the Final Four games are on TNT this weekend. Speaking of the Big Ten matchup, there we did have one in the Elite Eight. Number 9 Iowa lost to number 3 Illinois 71-59. Illinois is headed to the Final Four, and then this was the big one. In the final seconds, Duke up by 2. Boozer, I'm trying to read the big man. Not Cameron. The other one. I can't believe.
Yeah, I watched that game.
Yeah,
I watched that game.
I'm pulling up there,
and that had to been the final shot had to been at least a 50-footer.
Right.
It was, and nothing but net.
It doesn't even say his first name on here.
I know it's one.
Carlos Boozer's one of his twins.
One
there.
of his twins, bro.
Yeah.
Twins. And
we have Cameron. He's the point guard. This is stupid. I can't believe I have to. No, it is Cameron.
It's Cameron Boozer.
Yeah,
he was the one that made the
bad pass.
The bad pass that cost the game.
Yeah, so they get it to their big man mid-court, which is what you want to do. He goes to pass it to keep running the time, and the ball gets tipped and deflected. Yeah, one of their Arizona's forwards went up, tipped it. Arizona gets possession. They pass it around, and one of their best shooters hits. I don't have it in front of me.
It's got to be. It was at least half court because he put it up.
Right. And Brandon Mullins.
Yeah, Mullins, yeah.
Yeah, he puts it up, drills the 3 to take a 1-point lead with 0.3 milliseconds left. And, of course, you can't put up a good enough shot at that time. And Duke lost. UConn's headed to play Illinois in the Final Four. and that was absolutely. I mean, like they said, March is drama. In
That's why they
basketball.
call it March Madness.
Right. 6:09 p.m. on TNT this Saturday, UConn and Illinois. Winners of these matches will play Monday the 6th. So this is our last 10-set beer night with active college basketball, because by the time we make our next one, we'll be making it right before the game, but by the time you hear it, it'll be over. So,
right.
I mean, college basketball will be done then. So we'll have a new champion there, but it's going to be interesting, and especially that Arizona-Michigan game. Because with UConn, that could go either way, too, don't get me wrong, but you're talking about two of the best all year going at it to make it to the final, and would probably be favored to win the final there. So I'm okay with Bryce James and Arizona winning that game. But we'll see. I mean, Michigan's been tough all year.
No, I want to see Michigan win.
You want to see Michigan and Illinois?
Illinois. I want to see a Big Ten Final Four. Big Ten national championship.
That
would look good for the Big Ten.
It would. And I do think Illinois does have a chance, but I think UConn's the favorite.
I mean, you're the Elite Eight. You had, 4 Big Ten teams in the Elite Eight?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that goes to show you how good that conference is.
Yeah, it's getting better and everything there. And I did see Ohio State, one of their players is going to the transfer portal, and there's been a tug of war because he wore number 21, which was Evan Turner's number. They retired it. In college basketball, it's different. They'll hang your number up, but they'll still give it away. And he told the university after he went to the portal, Turner said, "I don't want anybody wearing that number again." Now, here's the thing, though, is Turner was a very good college player, but he wasn't he didn't deliver a championship.
You know what?
Anything, but.
With the hell with him. with the way the Porter thing is now, these numbers don't mean nothing no more. You could be number 23 here, and you go there and you be number 3.
Right.
Well, you ain't give that number back. Hell with him.
There you go.
I'm sorry. If you want to stay 4 years at a school, and that number should be retired, it's retired, and nobody else will ever use it. But if you're only there for 1 season, 2 seasons, you don't deserve to have.
I'm going to look that up because it's been a while. I remember he played when I was just starting out in college, and he's retired from the NBA now. And NBA he was a bust.
Maybe if he was there for 4 years, I'll go along with that. But these guys have no right to say what number. If they're at one school and they break all kind of records and they decide to move on to another school,
he was all 4 years.
Well,
Turner was. I didn't know that.
I'll let that one go then. If he wants to keep that's. But with the way the Porter thing is now, and these guys can transfer all over the place, numbers shouldn't have to be ain't retired no more. That's just my opinion. I'm allowed my opinion.
Right, and we've talked about with our Akron Zips.
And then we got a problem there at Akron. Well, are we gonna lose? We're gonna talk about this later.
Yeah. No, we were gonna talk about it a bit, but you brought up the numbers thing. The only numbers they retired with Zips are guys that won the MAC Player of the Year and were there for. They all have been there for all 4 years, but then, and rumor has it next year, Christian Lauren Jackson could be retired because he won MAC Player of the Year. He was there 3 years at least.
No, he was there for all 4 years.
Okay,
all
4 years there. He was red. That's right. He was redshirted.
He redshirted first year.
Yeah, somewhere in Florida. Yeah, it may have been University of Florida. Don't quote me.
I don't know.
I can look that up here.
But Jackson spent 90% of his thing was in Akron.
But then that comes to question with Nate Johnson. He transfers out, but he was MAC Player of the Year in Akron. So do they retire his number there?
No. If you leave Akron with at least 3 or 4 years, I don't. That's like the big one. And we discussed this on the phone the other day. There is a number retired at Canal Park. 23 that no other player in Akron Rubber Ducks can wear.
Right.
Number 23. But that guy never played a day of baseball in his life. That number is retired for. We talked about that the other day.
Right, he's talking about LeBron James.
LeBron James.
They did it for promo reasons. LeBron did not want to be involved.
But no Rubber Duck could ever wear 23 on the field.
Well, that year, there was a relief pitcher who was number 23, and he was upset about that. He made the comment, he goes, well, I'm here, and he never was in uniform.
He never was in uniform. Why do you retire a basketball player's number at a baseball?
Lauren Christian Jackson did play 1 year at Long Beach State and then 3 years with Akron. So it was, but I mean, out of 3 out of the 4 years,
90%, 3/4 of his career was at Akron.
Right,
I'll
and
go
he
along with
won
that.
MAC Player of the Year too. Like that makes sense.
And it wasn't that he came in on his junior year or senior year. He came in his freshman year.
It was
sophomore year.
He didn't play much his freshman year, so I mean, he did not play much at long. The guy was 5'8". He was an inch tall, 2 inch. No, yeah, inch taller than me.
And he's still playing basketball. He's pro over Europe.
Right. And he went up against 7'1" guys like it was nothing there. But
he was good.
Bob was bringing up something. This was something we were afraid of, but I thought when they got eliminated in the first round, the conversation was already over. But I guess not. I guess teams have been looking at John Gross, at University of Akron men's coach, to potentially be their coach. University of Charleston says they have him on top of the list.
And Charleston's is a mid-major school, just like Akron U.
Right.
What's I can understand a Michigan or Arizona or somebody going to talking to them, but why would you want to even think about it? It's a money thing. We all know that.
It's a location thing. It's what the speculation is too. Like you can convince players more to play in Charleston during all year than Akron, which is like
Charleston. What is Charleston, West Virginia? Charleston, South Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah.
But still a mid-major school.
Yeah, it's not a big. The MAC is bigger than their conference and better. But the one rumor, and they haven't said if he was. They're not actually. This university has kept everybody who they've been interested in interviewing quiet. But Butler was brought up because Ziad Mata retired, former Ohio State coach. People remember him for his time at Ohio State, taking them to championship, everything. He retired at Butler. Butler's looking for replacement. Gross is from Mata's coaching tree. Gross is from the same town Butler's in. And Butler had already supposedly talked to his half-brother, Travis Steele, and he said he wasn't interested in the
Travis turned it down.
Yeah. Just turned the interview. I don't think they offered. I'm not sure if they offered him the job, but they
well, he said he wasn't going. He don't want it.
Right, he wants to stay there. So that led to speculation. Gross could be on the. There's other coaches too, but that one makes more sense because not only Bob, there's going to be more money on the table. It is a bigger university. It's a bigger conference. He's from the area, and so that one I would understand. And I talked to other Zips fans about this over the weekend. They said if he leaves for Charleston, that's a smack in the face. But if he leaves for Butler, that's understandable.
Yeah, I'll understand that one.
Yeah,
because it's a major.
But I would like to see him stay. I didn't realize if he stays in Akron, next year will be his 10th season. He's already been in Akron more than he's been in any university at this point. And he's 5 wins away from, or 6 wins, 5 or 6 wins away from, maybe 3. I don't have him from me. He's got 190 some wins, so he's close to 200 is what I'm trying to say. Dambright had 300 in Akron, so that's a little over 300 is the record, I think, right now.
Yeah, Dambright was here a lot longer.
Yeah. But Gross has that winning streak and whatnot. But we'll see what happens there. But I mean, we will know by this week sometime. You could even already know by the time you hear this. Yeah. But like, I'm hoping to retain him if he goes to a bigger university. I understand, but Charles, I think that and that's where
personally, I think if I was John Gross, I ain't leaving. I wouldn't leave Akron.
No,
I got something I got to prove. I got to prove that we could win round 2, go to round 2 of the NCAA tournament.
Right. Well, he's going to be retooling too because he lost like 6 players from graduation and whatnot. He does have now going to be next year sophomore Mahaffey, not Evan but Eric there. He is going to have his point guard he got out of Alabama.
I was listening to
Young.
A talk. It was on one of the major networks, ESPN or one of them. It's talking that a mid-major school has like a 5% chance of getting to the second round.
Right.
Of a tournament, And we talked about this on the phone the other day. I really believe, personally, mid-majors, they should have a major. The NCAA should have their championship. The NIT should be all the mid-major champions. Personally, that's my opinion. When's the last time you remember a mid-major going to the Final Four? except for Gonzaga. And they've been there a couple times.
Right.
But that's also a basketball school with no other sports.
Can I stop you for a sec?
You can do what you want, but I ain't changing my mind.
John Gross left for Charleston an hour ago.
Did he really?
That I just looked it up. Yeah. So yeah, you know now. We know. He's gone.
Probably got tired of hearing when you're going to go to the next round. How many of the kids he's going to take from ours to Charleston with the protocol? He can.
That's a bummer. We're just finding this out there.
Oh well. John Gross. Good luck. I don't think you ever have the what you had at Akron though.
No. And I'm not trying to be salty. I'm not, because I do like the guy. I wish him well.
You know who I could see being the next coach at Akron?
I have a guess, but I want you to say.
Guy from Duquesne.
Drew Joyce, yeah. He had a good year, though, this year. They might keep him. Yeah, I thought about that. But now, that because now we're going to be nervous because this is going to be a whole restart now.
Huh.
You know, I do wish Gross the best of luck. I can't believe it is a step backwards he's not moving up, in my opinion.
No, I think he's moving down.
Yeah, I think he's moving down too.
But I'm sure the money was good because Akron. He had a couple of years left on Akron's contract. Akron's got to buy him out.
Well, he had it to 2035.
Yeah, I mean he's got some years.
Yeah.
Akron's gonna have to buy it out. Or he's gonna have to.
No, Charleston would have to buy it.
Charles would have to buy it out. That's what I mean.
No, it's gonna be interesting because you're gonna watch somebody that's gonna come in and try to win right now, and that's gonna be tough. You know who
I'd like to see is Dustin Ford. Give him a shot. The assistant coach under Gross.
It might be good there. I want to see Bob Huggins on the search team. Not. I doubt he would unretire for Akron.
Was Bob Huggins here for Charleston, working for them? Because he was here a lot.
Right. That's Yeah, I would like to see Huggins on the search team for handpick their next coach there because he will have good taste and he loves the program.
Maybe Huggins was here because he knew Gross was going to be leaving.
Bob, I would love it. I don't see it.
I would love to see Huggins back.
That would be the equivalent of when Tito Francona unretired and came to the Indians. That would be. I mean that.
I'd love to see Huggins in the sideline. Or the side court, whatever.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I'll tell you who would hate it, it's Kent State in Ohio. You just sitting there going, "Are you kidding me?" Like, how do these guys get that? Like, just shaking their head and. Oh my gosh, that would be so. But that's why I said put him on the committee, and find somebody. So Akron will have a vacancy there. So,
Huggins' name's up in the rafters at the jar.
Yeah. So there. Hey, seriously, Coach Gross, thank you for everything. We wish you the best luck at Charleston. When we come back, we'll talk Cavs, we'll talk guards, and the week they've had, and as the Cavs inch closer to ending their season, the guards continue to start their season. We'll be back. Welcome back to 10 Step Beer Night here at FifthDimensionRadio.com. I'm Seth.
I'm Bob.
We're healing, as we heard. John Gross has taken off, and Akron Zips have a coaching vacancy now. So, Bob, we should know sooner than later of who they're going to be looking at, but we're just in shock right now. But speaking of new coaches, Columbus Crew's new coach is still looking for his first win after he lost to Toronto FC this past weekend, 1-2. 1-2, I should say. This Saturday, they're away in Atlanta to play Atlanta United FC, and that will be 7:30 p.m. on ATV, so watch out for that there. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Bob, last week, they went 2-1, which I said would be the best worst-case scenario there. Tuesday night, me and you went up to Cleveland, and we saw beat the Magic 136-131.
I need to go up more often. Every time I go up there, they win.
Yeah.
It was the first time this year,
but... they're 7-2 when I've gone up. So
are they really?
Yeah.
You better go up more often.
Yeah.
You better buy a full season package next year. They need to go undefeated.
They might. But it was funny because last year they lost 6 home games, and I saw 5 of those 6. So it was usually they do very well when I get up there, but last year was such. You saw the older guy next to me who he shares the same package as I do, and he goes last year. He goes, I don't know what's going on. He goes, they do so well at home, but I've seen almost every home loss with you. And I go, I know it was bad. So, but you have. Kenny Atkinson said after that game, he said, we gave him 131 points. He said, if we play defense like that, it'll be a short playoff stint, guys. So he was brutally honest, despite how good of a game that was. And Magic did play very, very well at the same time there. Wednesday, against the Heat, they blew it at home, 103-120. Actually, the score doesn't even tell you how bad it was. I mean, Heat were up by almost 30 at a point. It was like 25 points. It was bad. But then Friday, Cavs got their revenge. Jared Allen comes back. They won 149-128. Just absolutely blowing out the Heat. They're making a statement.
I don't understand why the NBA does that back-to-back games.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's the same team back-to-back.
It's easier for travel purposes sometimes. So Heat stayed in Cleveland all that part of the week.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know.
By the time you hear this, you'll know Monday and Tuesday's results, but this week, Monday they are at Utah to play the Jazz, 9 p.m. on FanDuel. Last time they played the Jazz, this is one of the losses I did see, Bob. It was at home and they lost it. This was before the trades and everything got a little bit touched. The roster got touched up. I think Jazz are a little bit banged up. Some of their key players are hurt. Kevin Love's okay though, but they should be able to win that game there.
So, you think Kevin's coming back?
That'll be an interesting conversation for another time. But speaking of that conversation, Tuesday they're at LA to play the Lakers, 10:30 p.m. on FanDuel. Lakers are playing very, very well. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. And on top of that, history was made the other night. LeBron passed to Bronny James. Bronny hit a 3. That's the first father-son assist in NBA history. It took him almost 2 seasons to do that. But it finally did happen there.
So Bronny's up at the Lakers right now?
Oh, he's been there. Yeah, he's been doing better. He looks a lot better than where he was last year.
I thought he was a 3. Well,
they've had some injuries, so he was able to stay up and play. So he looks a lot better. So I would take this Lakers team seriously going into it. This is last time they blew them. I was there for that game too. They blew out the Lakers at home. I mean, and this home streak. I mean, this home stand. You're not gonna have Craig Porter Jr. You're not gonna have Jalen Tyson, who guarded LeBron very well at home. Max Strus is out against the Jazz. Again, by the time you hear this, you'll already know some of this already. But it's because he's going to play for the Lakers against the Lakers. He can't do back-to-back games with they're watching that toe and his foot. They're watching that foot injury, so which right now has been pretty sustained. He's playing very well, but they just don't want to play back-to-back right now, so they're saving him for the Lakers there. But the Lakers game is going to be a little bit tough for this time around, but I think they have if they have Jared Allen back, they have Mobley playing as well as he's been of late, and with James Harden and all that. I think they could win that game there. And then Thursday, they're at Golden State, okay, and I think this is a game they should win. Earlier this year, I believe they beat Golden State. We're going way back.
How many times they play each team in the West? Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
I'm trying to find it here. They lost to Golden State by 5 at home. So this is going to be close. And this is not the Golden State of old. And Curry's still hurt. They're not. He might be back by then, but there's a chance he isn't. So right now they are kind of weak. And then Sunday, on Easter Sunday, they're back home, and they will play the Pacers, who are last in the East right now. Okay. And then
I'll tell you what, start of the season, if you told me they were last in the East, I'd say you got to be kidding me. No, there's no way that's going to happen.
All the injuries and all that. Which here's the messed up part, Bob. They're probably going to get a top 3 or top 4 pick, and this draft class is predicted to be loaded. So they get a nice piece to get back with the players that will come back from injury next year. So they'll be back at it next year. I mean, this is they're tanking right now. But just for long-term success, So that's why their coach isn't rumored to be fired as of right now or anything like that, because they're like, okay, we'll be back at it next year. But NBA, speaking of which, Bob, two things did happen. Well, real quick. Before our next 10-set beer night, they will also Monday play at Memphis, who is also beat up by injuries. And it's expected. So what I'm saying, worst case scenario, this week's games, not including Memphis, 3-1. I would like them to go 4-0, but I think they realistically could be 3-1. Best worst case scenario. It's just these are teams they can win. And Bob, after this week, including the Memphis Monday game, they have 4 games left. So we're almost there.
And we're what? We're sitting fourth or third in the standings.
We are 4th right now. I'm gonna pull it.
Is it possible to go to third?
Right. Celtics. Yeah, they're a game and a half behind third. They're 4 games behind second. And they're 8 games behind first.
All right.
So
let's worry about the third. Let's get to third.
Second's not rolled out either, but yeah, right now they have not clinched yet, despite what the sales rep at the Cavaliers game tried to tell us. But Celtics did clinch. So Pistons and Celtics clinched. In the West, Thunder and Spurs clinched. Lakers are third, and they are 2 games better than the Cavs as of right now. So I mean, so they got to take that seriously. And on top of that, teams trying to clinch play-in. Clippers are there with 39-36. Darius Garland playing very well right now. NBA, I was about to say, they first of all have agreed on a vote to look at potentially adding Las Vegas in the return of the Seattle Seahawks for 2028.
It'd be the Seattle Supersonics.
Supersonics, excuse me. I said
the
Super Bowl champions are also going to play basketball, you know. No, the Supersonics, which I said being Browns fans, we know how that feels about getting your team back, so we're very happy for Seattle. It's not official, but it's a step closer to being official.
I see it in the future.
I mean, it'll be 2028 if it happens, so we'll know sooner than later. If this does go down, rumor has it, Minnesota Timberwolves and Memphis Grizzlies are moving to the Eastern Conference to make way for those two. So that's how it works. Now, I think it's going to jump up the divisions, but as far as conferences go, it's going to be because Memphis is in rebuild and Minnesota is a tough team right now. And is expected to still be a tough team in a few years. So, I mean, that's going to be an interesting turn of events. But I think as far as Seattle's at least, I should say, appropriate for now. Because I don't think they should. I have nothing against Oklahoma City. But they should not have moved. Oklahoma City should have been just added. You know, they should have done additions back then. And I know they've been talking about Vegas for years.
Well, you know, MLB's talking about realignment.
Right.
Setting it all up. Because now that the American and National are playing each other every year, you know, which they are, there's no more, you know, everybody's playing everybody.
Right.
You know, now it's time to move the teams closer together within the regions. So.
Right.
You could see a big change. I mean, there's talk Pittsburgh going to the American League Central.
There was talk about Cincinnati too.
Yeah. So
I mean, could you imagine a Cleveland and Cincinnati rivalry all year long?
I think it should be.
Right.
You know, of course, Pittsburgh and Cleveland is a lot closer, and football's a rival. But mileage-wise, it's an hour.
Right.
Cincinnati's 3 hours from Cleveland.
They've talked about Minnesota and Kansas City moving out of the Central in that situation. Maybe even adding Cincinnati and Pittsburgh there.
Well, you're going to see within the next year or two, you're going to see a major change,
right?
Within the divisions,
right. Some of them I think will sit like the NL West is pretty much that's the same. I mean, you can't get any more West than that. Where some of these other,
I mean, you're going to see probably the Seattle Mariners going out there in the National League with San Francisco and San Diego, and the Dodgers. Seattle would fit really well there because it's a straight line,
right? The
straight
Pacific
shot.
Coast, yeah.
You know, there's talk that's going to happen. So you know, but
the weird one still to me is football. Like the Indianapolis Colts are in the AFC South. You know, and then you have Baltimore's closer to any of the Eastern divisions, but they're in the Central. You know what I mean? And then I mean they've talked about good football, but the problem is the rivalry and the history with some of those teams. you just kind of got to keep it at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Speaking of football, we do have breaking news. Cleveland Browns have removed their proposed rule change to the NFL about trading up to 5 years in draft picks. Right now, the rule is 3. Cleveland tried to push an idea of 5. They have now removed that idea. They had some backing. I know the Rams backed Cleveland, said we like that idea as well, but for whatever reason, they've backed off on that there. And
I read somewhere one of the NFL teams is fighting in the Modell rule. The about moving teams, like the Modell rule we
the
got.
Modell rule would only be Ohio, so
No, it's a national football.
it's a national.
It's
rule.
a National Football League
He
rule.
screwed up so bad it became a National League rule.
Yeah, and I can't remember which one of the Florida teams. Or one of somebody brought it up. Let me see if I can find it. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, while he's looking at that, I did read something. We're going to talk, because we only have a few minutes, we're going to save baseball for the last segment because we have so much of baseball we want to talk about, and we did spend 5 minutes talking about the Cavs. And Cavs right now in good situation, though. Just got to stay healthy. Got to find a way to stay healthy. We want to enter the playoffs with Dean Wade's the other one out this week on the road trip. We need Wade, Porter, Tyson back. We need a full healthy squad because when they're healthy, they're at their best, especially with James Harden in the loop there. But, that Harden-Garland trade has been a win-win for both teams as of now. But as far as football goes, I read something. This came out yesterday, Bob. Andrew Berry had an interview about just an update where heads are in the offseason and all that. And he said it is on the table that if Deshaun Watson were to win the starting job and can play well, they have an offer ready for him as an extension because they said when they brought him in, they said the idea wasn't just to commit the first 5 years. They wanted a decade with him if it worked out. But they said he has to prove himself. He has to play well. And but that has been discussed. So, I mean, they're ending the 5-year deal this year with Watson, but they're already potentially have another one.
I made a mistake. It wasn't the Modell rule. It's the Rooney rule.
Rooney rule, yeah.
Says Attorney General, Florida's Attorney General says NFL must get rid of the Rooney rule, which they feel is racist.
Right. You have to interview somebody that's not white.
Right.
Is what it is, yeah.
And so they're calling. That's what I made a mistake and read it
Well,
wrong. But
here's the thing with that too, Bob, is there's a ton of great black coaches both in the NBA and NFL, and a lot of them do get a chance to interview. Every team is different. And every situation is different. But it's when you bring race into it, you're kind of watering down what's really going. It's a prime example, okay? Stephen A. Smith of ESPN could be running for president. I brought that up on a show that you weren't here for, Bob, but he did announce he's debating it. He played the race card when the Cavs hired Kenny Atkinson, okay? Because they fired J.B. Bickerstaff, and then now they're bringing in a white guy. They didn't hire him because of his race, Bob, okay? The black GM asked his black players who had him before, do you like him? Oh, we love him. Then asked his top player, who is black, what do you think about him? I would be down for him to be the head coach. And then took it up to ownership, who said, my other friends like him too. Let's bring him in. They interviewed him. They liked him. They said, we're going to make him the head coach. You tell me where the race problem is.
Well, you know with our societies today and the way that America is today, the race cards get thrown all over the place.
Right. So,
like it or not, it is. And I'm all for hiring the best guy for the job. I don't care if he's white, black, red, green, whatever.
Right.
If he can do the job and he's got the credentials to do the job, hire him.
Right. Every team's got a different situation. You know what I mean? And
I mean, if I like I said, I'm not a racist, but hire the best guy for the job.
We all have a brain the good Lord gave us, and we use it all different in every situation. That you look at I don't like to make them the poster child because I don't like the team, but there's a good comparison here. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they win they lose Bill Cowher to retirement. He won a Super Bowl with them. He won a lot of games with them. They go and find a black guy in Mike Tomlin who fit what they needed at the time. He's one of the most winning coaches in history. Got another Super Bowl, whether we like it or not.
Now he's going to be on the NFL Network television.
Right. He'll probably get another, and he will get another chance to be head coach. He's taking a year off, but he will get. I'm telling you, somebody else is going to pick him next year. He's going to get another chance, and if he doesn't, I understand too, because he had a good time in Pittsburgh. He had a he had a Hall of Fame career pick. He's a Hall of Famer regardless.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But, I mean, they went out and they didn't say, oh, we are getting this guy because he's black. They got because of how he communicates with the players, what he wanted,
as much
his attitude, his schemes.
As much as me and you hate Pittsburgh,
right,
we know he was a great coach.
Right. Oh, there's a ton of people in Cleveland that told you when the vacancy was open, if you wanted to come here, we would have taken him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
My only issue was he wanted the 3-4 defense, and we were a 4-3, and I liked the 4-3. That was literally my only. If he was willing to commit to the 4-3 defense and come here, hell yeah, But I like what Monken's doing. I like the way he's talking, and he is very similar to Tomlin in the way he deals with the players, of how upfront he is with them and how personal he is with them.
I like the way Monken's talking.
Right.
But until he gets him on the field,
right.
I ain't gonna know. I ain't gonna say he's doing a great job.
But you're having a lot of players, Bob, that are coming out and talk about Stefanski, good and bad. And one of their complaints was they didn't get to know much because he didn't talk much to them. He just Monken will tell you up front what he needs and whatnot. And speaking of that, there was a Instagram post by Nick Chubb over the weekend. And it showed him working out in the Browns facility, and it ends with him in the Browns uniform holding the Browns flag, speculating a reunion could be in the works. And I'll tell you, Monken loves to run the ball, and maybe the coaching change attracted Chubb too.
Yeah, I would love to see Chubb back.
I don't think it's over. He's got a lot. I know he's 30, but I don't like the age curve when it comes to superstars. I think it's overrated. And you got Adrian Peterson too. 2 of his best seasons of his career, he was over 30. I mean, a star player is going to play like a star player at the end of the day. You can't stop that unless they get hurt. So I think if a reunion works, I would love it along with what we have right now.
I like to see Chubb back.
Right. With Judkins and Samuel, I think
we should never let Chubb go.
I wonder if he didn't want to come back for a year, because if he does come back, it's making me wonder if he had issues with Stefanski. Because more and more is coming. Not that he's a bad guy.
There's a lot of time we had the best running game in the game, and we didn't run him.
Right. I said that for 2021 was a prime example. It was bad. Hey, we got to take a break, Bob. When we come up, we'll talk baseball. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our last segment of 10 Cent Beer Night. Not fooling. I know there's a play April, and not fooling. John Gross left Akron. That's baseball, Bob.
Good luck, John. Good luck.
We do wish.
You ain't gonna win 4 in a row like you did Akron. But okay.
It's gonna be a tougher conference.
It's a smaller conference.
Right. Yeah, we've been talking on off air about ideas. Bob brought up, and I've thought about this before. Bob brought up about Drew Joyce at Duquesne, if he would return. For people that don't remember that name, he played for Akron. He went to St. Mary's with LeBron James and Romeo Travis. So it's a sexy idea. Bob Huggins is a reach, Bob. But that's why I want involved in the coach search. Trust his judgment there.
You don't know it. Bob Huggins this season spent a lot of time at Akron games.
At Akron we have no reason for nothing came up out of all the old programs he was hanging around here.
We were down there at the game. He was there, and I got a picture with him. I talked to him for a minute, and then during the tournament, he's sitting right behind the Zips team bench.
Right.
Hey. You got a Hall of Fame coach in Bob Huggins at an Akron U game. Of course, he did coach at Akron in the early, what was it, late 80s, early 80s.
Right. Yeah. Another name I thought of, but I don't think it's a toss-up because it'd be a level down than what he's used to. But if he wants a decent paycheck to get back in the game, and he is a little bit older, former Michigan head coach and Cleveland Cavaliers head coach John Beilein is not coaching right now. I think he's teaching a course at Michigan. But if he wants to get back, I mean, he was very good, Bob. He did not work out for Cleveland. He tried to bring collegiate coaching into Cleveland, and that did not. That's why Kevin Love and Andre Drummond got mad, and then he eventually resigned, and J.B. Bickerstaff took over. That's how it started.
There's another one that we got to keep in mind. Is he coached under Dambrot at St. Vincent, Drew Joyce Sr., who's at St. Vincent now.
Maybe.
And he applied for one of the jobs before I think he applied when Damrot left. He applied for the job.
See, but Junior's younger. He had a good year at Duquesne. That's where
I mean, I'm trying to. We can't leave that one out either.
Right.
Or is Damrock thinking of coming back out of retirement?
I don't think he is. I don't even know if he lives in Akron.
He still lives in Akron. He lives in the West Akron. He
Right.
still lives here in the city.
I said Junior is the third that's the coach there, for Duquesne.
Drew Joyce Sr.
Was it Junior? You think? If it's his dad, because it's Drew Joyce the third. That's what Duquesne.
Gotta be the second. Then.
Right. Because Senior would be older. Yeah, I mean, because UK Joyce the third's 5 years older than I am.
It's got to be. Well, he's still the head coach at St. V right now, and he runs all the I can't think of. He runs a lot of big tournaments, CYO tournaments or whatever you call it, here in Akron during the off season. He just had a big one not too long ago. There was 100 teams in Akron that played in this tournament. They played all over at St. V, at the University of Akron's gym, all over the place. So,
there you go. We do got to talk baseball real quick. Guardians started off their first series, splitting the game series with the Seattle Mariners, who, by the way, are predicted to be one of, if not the top American League team this year.
It surprised me the Mariners have never been to a World Series.
No.
Never. In 50 years of existence.
Cleveland blocked them in the 90s. They had an incredible team in the 90s, and Cleveland was the reason they didn't go.
But a lot of people thought last year was the year that they could done it.
Right. And Toronto
just took them.
Yeah.
But out of 50 years they've been in existence, never have been to a World Series.
No.
Never.
No.
They're the only team in all
and
of
that
baseball
2001 team choked.
That's the one they won 116 games.
Yeah.
They won 116
games. They beat Cleveland in the first round, and then they did horrible in the ALCS. So, yeah, they split the series. So, at 2, they won Game 1 6-4 against the Mariners there. You had Brogdon got the win there. Smith got his first save. They lost game 2 5-1 there. Williams gave up a run too many there. He just didn't look like himself.
He didn't look like himself.
No,
yeah.
Kirby played very well. Then they went into 10 innings in Game 3, and Guards won 6-5. There, DeLauder hit his fourth home run of the earlier of the season. First player in Cleveland history to hit a home run in his first 3 games, and then hit 4 total. So I mean, he's going crazy. Bob, I'm watching this guy swing. He looks like Grady Sizemore when he swings at that ball.
A lot of people said that.
Yeah, I mean, he wears number 24. There was somebody trying to sell. Oh, look how smooth his bat is. He's Manny Ramirez. I said, this guy's got one postseason game and 3 regular season games. Let's pump the brakes before we compare him to Manny Ramirez. He hits on the other side of the plate. Where Sizemore, he's wearing his number and he swings like him. So I mean,
we'll know here soon.
Right.
When we see the Grady ladies.
The Chase Broads. Or
because Grady Sizemore always had these 50 women. 50 ladies up there rooting for him.
Yeah. And then Smith, the closer, got his win in that, and Brogdon got the save in that one. So they kind of flopped in that one. They did force Munoz to have the loss, which he's one of the top closers in the American League, so that was a big deal. And then Sunday did not do so hot. The bats did not show up. They got shut out 8-0.
And it's like last year. It's the exact same thing happened last year.
Right.
We have a good game. The next game came along. There was no bats at all.
Right.
You know.
2 hits total.
Yeah.
Hancock pitched 6 no hit innings, almost perfect. He walked one guy. He had 9 strikeouts. And Criswell came in the last 3 innings and did the rest. And Seattle won that one 8-0. This week, and by the time you hear this, they'll be wrapping up the series against the Dodgers. So they play the defending world champs at home. Guardians TV will have the games at tonight. Wednesday would be 8:20 p.m. They'll have Thursday off, and then this weekend they're back home. Their homestands against their 2016 World Series opponent, the Chicago Cubs. 4:10 p.m. Guardians team and WKYC will have the opening day game on
Channel
Friday.
3. Okay,
Yep, 4 p.m. Yeah, it's local Channel 3 because NBC now has national games. It's Sunday night game, which the Guards and the Mariners were the first Sunday night game on NBC since they claimed the rights.
And for the ones that can't get the Guardians TV or don't got direct TV or whatever, NBC locally here in Akron is WKYC Channel 3.
Yeah.
They're going to be televising 10 of the Guardians games this year.
Right.
So,
well, Saturday, 7:15 p.m. You were talking about like local. They'll be on Fox. So
which would be Channel 8.
Channel 8.
Channel 8 here in Akron.
Right.
WJKW, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think
So
it is.
they'll be on
Channel 8.
Fox there, and then Sunday 1:40 p.m. afternoon they'll be on Guardians team against the Cubs, and then since our next 10-cent beer night, they'll be starting a series with Kansas City at home right after Sunday, going into Monday there. So and Kansas City, okay start. They might be already removing their closer from their closers rule, which screws up one of my fantasy teams, but that's besides the point there. You'll already know the results by the time you hear it, but just for the sake of it, against the Dodgers, Mystic will go against Sasaki for Game 1. Game 2, you're going to have Tanner Beebe go against Shohei Ohtani. Dodgers have a 6-man rotation this year, so this will be Ohtani's first game pitching. In the regular season, too. He pitched in the postseason, but he didn't pitch in the regular season last year because he had time. Isn't that messed up? You have Tommy John surgery, but you're still batting over .330 and 50 home runs. This guy's incredible. I mean, he's absolutely.
This guy is everything, man.
Right.
He catches, he plays, he pitches, he does it all.
He steals bases too. He had over 50.
Speed.
Yeah,
he's got speed.
Right. Slow start at the plate this year so far, but the Dodgers team as a whole is not. Wednesday, Gavin Williams will play against Yamamoto there, and so going into Friday, opening day in Cleveland, you'll have Horton, who was one of the top rookie starters in the National League last year, Cade Horton. He'll go up against Cantillo as far as your opening day matchup. Saturday on national television, you have Imanaga, and he'll go up against Sassoni, who lost in yesterday's Seattle game. And then on Sunday, you're going to have Cabrera, who was traded to Chicago in the offseason against Messick here. So that's going to be your pitching matchups going into this week. And then for kicks, just Monday as it stands against Kansas City, it's going to be Cameron versus Bybee there. So there you have. But Guards are underway. But here's the good news, Bob. Jose Ramirez has a little bit of help on that lineup there with DeLauder, the way he's playing. You got Kwan's going to heat up too eventually.
Well, he got his first hit yesterday.
Right.
On Sunday. He got his first hit of the season.
Right.
Yeah, because he's got to get him moving.
Right. And he will. He will. You know, this is a 3-time All-Star. I think 3-time. I'm going by memory here. Multi-Golden Glover. So I mean that will pan out, and it's going to be interesting. We'll see what the rest of the pitching is going to do too, because it hasn't been bad, you know, going out. But yesterday was the only bad game when they lost 8-0. But again, you're playing a very top team, and now they're playing the number 1 team in the National League, the defending back-to-back
Anytime you
champions.
can go, you're on the road, and if you can get a split, to me that's it. You always want to win a series,
right?
But a split is just as good. You don't want to lose a series.
Right. And you don't always play a team 4 times like that either. So the fact that they did,
I was shocked that they started out the season like that with 4 games.
Right.
Usually they don't. There's a 3-game. A lot of times they play a game, the first game of the season they'll play, then they take a day off.
Right.
You know, so
Well,
that was the shocker. They played 4 straight.
This year was weird, Bob, because it wasn't just that. You had, or the first game was Yankees and Giants. Those teams have the day off the next day. Half the league played then Thursday, had the day off. Then you had Giants, Yankees, and the other teams that didn't play that day on Tuesday had the day off. And then, except for, Cleveland did, let's see, Thursday. No, Cleveland did play Friday, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they
Cleveland
played
played
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
But you did it. Then you had teams like, I think it was St. Louis and Tampa Bay, for example, who played each other, and then I think it was Miami and I think it's the Brewers. No, Miami and Rockies. They didn't start till Friday. That was their they spread it, which I did not mind, for the record. I didn't think that was a bad. That way, it wasn't all everybody. And it was for ratings' sake.
I was kind of shocked about it, but
I was shocked, but I wasn't against. You didn't go. You kept it all in America. You didn't have that international game, which I'm so about. I think that partially was because of the World Baseball Classic. There was so much international play already, but I liked it because it brought more attention to all the teams on their first game, and then everybody eventually played on the same.
And you know
day
what?
again.
This was one of the first start season that there was not a cancellation.
Yeah.
So because they had these teams going, the colder weather cities, which didn't have, wasn't that bad here.
Right.
But the colder weather cities, they moved them more to the warmer cities. We was out in Seattle, which is a cold city, but they got a roof on their stadium.
Right.
You know, I remember a couple years ago, Cleveland home opener was snowed out. So they moved these. They finally, this is the first year that you can honestly say they moved all the colder cities to warmer cities, which is the way it should be during the during the season openers. You know, Cleveland's on the road for the first 7 games in warmer cities. Right. So hopefully, when we come back here in April, 6th, when we come home for the home opener, it's the weather's a little better. You know. Which I think was a good move. I think Detroit started on the road. I just think it's better. That's the way it should start every year.
Right. No,
I mean, I remember times it's opened the season in Cleveland on March 30th. It's 20 degrees out, and you got a warm city team is in town. You know. Oh well, what do I know? How do my Reds do?
How your Reds just looking? Oh, we do. There are I just something caught my attention here on my feed. I guess there is a fan rumor Akron is considering promoting Dustin Ford. But
we brought that up.
Right.
I would think he would be a great fit.
Right.
I really believe that.
It's consideration, but the source is kind of
consider what?
It's in consideration.
Yeah. I think it should be brought up because first of all, he was with Dan Rott. He was assistant coach under Dan Rott. He left with Dan Rott to go to Duquesne. He comes back to Akron with Gross. So he knows the Akron program.
Right.
And he knows that probably the 2 best coaches Akron's had in a long time. You know, what their systems they ran. Right. I think it would be a great move to have Dustin Ford the head coach.
And
it would be his first head coaching job.
Right. You know, and I'm not opposed to it. That's kind of the rumor right now.
Well, I said, I really believe that would be a good move, personally, in my opinion. Right. And I like the guy. You know, he's done a great job. You see him on the sideline a lot, talking to the players. And he knows the players. We got to do something to try to keep some of our players because I know a lot of them are going to bail. They're going to go with Gross.
Maybe it is a step down. I know, but it's a step down there too.
Yeah,
they might not be able to
the way the system is. What are they going to do? They can say in Akron they're going to play. They go to Charleston,
but they might get paid more in Akron. Akron's got more NIT money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so well, to answer your question, your Reds beat the Red Sox in a 3-game series 2-1.
Yeah.
They got shut out the first game 3-0. They won the second one 6-5 in 11 innings and won the last one 3-2.
So we're 2-1.
Yeah.
We won the series. That's
They,
all it
they
counts.
play the Pirates coming up. Paul Skeens had a bad first game, and then they'll be at Texas later this week too. So that's the answer to your Reds there, but not bad. No, I mean Red Sox are expected to be tough. We talked about that. So we had Reds and Red Sox game one. That's funny how that works. That game series 1 there, and Cincinnati pulls it off. So that's a good look. But again, Tito knows how to win, and that's against his former team too. So he wanted that. See if the alignment changes and Tito's still around, that's going to be a very interesting rivalry there. We were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That would be something there. So we got to wrap it up here. A lot.
Man, it's already over?
It's already over. Look at this.
Man, it goes fast when you're having fun.
Yeah, we did have some fun today. Next week we will talk about the Cavs' last week and a half because I think they have a little longer. No, it'll be the last home game's a week from this coming Sunday. We'll talk about their last week then of regular season basketball. See at least if they can win at least 50 games, stay in that top 4. I think they'll be okay there. We'll talk about what the guards did. We'll talk about your new college championship. We'll talk about Akron's head coach vacancy in basketball. The Rubber Duck started. We'll get around to that too. We're looking very forward to that here in Akron. And then we'll figure out some other stuff to talk about as well. Have a happy Easter, everybody. Good Easter season to you. Stay warm, stay dry. It's looking like the weather's taking a turn for the better, so we'll get to see more outside sports, not just your baseball, but of course Bob's other favorite, golf.
Oh, golf.
You know,
I'll be on the course on Tuesday.
don't have Tiger Woods drive that cart.
He can drive a cart. He can't drive a car. I guess he got. I seen that.
Right. We wish Tiger the best, but this is getting bad. Okay.
Come on, Tiger.
Without further ado, go Cavs, go Guards, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Have a great week.